People can keep joining as we get started, but I just wanted to thank all of you for coming. I think you all know me. I'm Lauda, Executive Director of Nurturing Minds, and we thought that it would be fun to celebrate United Nations Day today. Since at Nurturing Minds and SEGA, of course, we are very focused on some of the UN Sustainable Development Goals, including quality education, gender equality, and climate action. And in fact, the Modern Girl Community Outreach Program touches on all of those goals. And since we have a very special guest here today, as you know, Clementina Mwambene, who is the head of our Modern Girl Community Outreach Program, or as we sometimes call it in Swahili, Msichana wa Kisasa, or MK. We thought that it would be a perfect opportunity to have Clementina share a bit about the program. But before I pass things over to her, I wanted to give a little bit more background on Clementina herself. So Clementina did her bachelor's degree here in the United States at Truman State University in Missouri. And she went on just recently to do her MBA at SUA, or Sokoona University of Agriculture, which is close to where SEGA is operating. And she has been really at the helm of this program since we started 8 years ago. And we started really just with working with a few communities, and she has grown it over the past 8 years so that now it is reaching 2,000 adolescent girls and young women in 30 different villages. And so she is going to today give an overview of the program, of course, but also share some of the results from the recent long-term evaluation, which showed really tremendous positive impact in all of the work that she and her team are doing. And there will be time for questions at the end. We asked, of course, that you keep yourselves muted until that time. And then you can either put your questions in the chat and Annalise will read them, or you can unmute yourself and raise your hand or just ask a question at the end. So thanks again for joining. And with that, I will pass you on to the lovely Clementina.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Yeah, so thank you, Laura, for introducing me, and thank you all for taking your time. And I think I'm just gonna go ahead and ask Annalise to start sharing the screen so we can go ahead. The next one. Okay, so just a little bit overview of the NGO. As everyone knows, SEGA operates three main programs, as the SEGA Girls Secondary School is our lead program with over 276 students enrolled this year from Form 1 to Form 4, and majority of them, almost 80%, receives full scholarship to attend the school. But we also have the SEGA graduates continuing education program. Also, they receive scholarship to continue with A-levels, colleges, and university. This year, there are over 270 girls who are receiving the scholarships and continuing. But more for the MK program, also known as the Msichana wa Kisasa, is a community outreach program that provides education to the girls, but also we utilize our SEGA graduates as mentors in the communities from where SEGA draws their students. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is a picture of the MK team. So as you see here, this was taken earlier this year in June, where we were at SEGA for our annual joint capacity building training. So you can see mentors and some staff are in there. And I'll talk about more about the team a little bit later. Another slide. Okay, so a little bit more introduction. The MK is a peer-to-peer community outreach program that reaches girls, and the main goals of the program is to provide safe space for girls to meet, to have fun, to meet, discuss challenges that they're going through with their life within their communities, more specifically for the girls who are in remote communities that, unlike any other places that maybe they don't have a place that they can meet together because it's always either school or just home. They cannot talk about their challenges. So we learn and we want to strive to provide a safe space for community, but also so they can meet each other and discuss. But also the MK continues the SEGA's mission in these communities that we serve. The program started in 2016 in 4 clubs in Morogoro Municipal, but right now in 2024, we have been to over 137 centers, currently with 30 active centers that are ongoing, and we expect them to be 31 by the end of this month because we are still expanding in one area. So by the end of October, we expect to have 31 centers. And the program itself was designed from a similar population consult program that was implemented in Kenya in 2016 when it started. But also the program draws majority from the SEGA's EFL program, in which is teaching life skills, teaching human rights, but also teaching confidence building, and also the entrepreneurship aspect of SEGA. And all we joined all of them together to make the MK program. Next slide. Okay. And the core age of the girls in the program is 10 to 20. That's the core age of the girls we work with. But every now and then we have a particular group of young mothers who are 17 to 25. And whenever we have young mothers, they usually have their own class separately. Geographical area, currently the program is in 3 regions in Tanzania, that is Morogoro, Dodoma, and Iringa. But within these regions, we have 6 districts that the program operates. As I've mentioned, the program uses SEGA graduates as mentors in the community, but also right now, over the past couple of years, we've also been using our program graduates as mentors. So we have about half and half. And also the program operates for a year. So from when the girls join the program up to when they graduate, it's usually a year. That's when after they finish their curriculum and are ready to graduate. And we usually meet on Saturday and Sunday afternoon to give time for the girls who are still in school in their areas to be able to do their schools. But Saturday and Sunday afternoon, they are free. That's when they come and meet. Annually, right now, we reach between 1,700 to 2,000 girls in the communities. Next. Okay, so the program staff you can see a lovely picture of some of the staff here. Currently, we have 7 full-time staff, 1 program coordinator with me, and I have 6 field officers covering all the districts that the program operates in, which are Morogoro Rural, Iringa Rural, Ifakara, Dodoma Town, and Morogoro Municipal, and Mvomero. So, and within each district, we have a number of field officers. We have a number of mentors. So we have 1 field officers and a number of mentors in each area. Currently, we have 43 mentors that are working in the program right now. But from when we started up until now, we have worked with over 150 mentors. And out of these 150, 50 are from community. So majority who are our MK graduates, and 100 have been SEGA graduates. Next. Okay, so our mentors, as I've mentioned, they are the key part of the program because they are the one that they meet with the girls every day on Saturday and Sunday. So we try and we strive to train the mentors so that they are able to facilitate the sessions well where the community. And so we usually have small trainings within their areas, but also we have 1 big joint training, as you see the pictures the earlier picture that I showed. We have 1 big joint training that includes all mentors in the program, that they all meet together, they get to know each other, they get to form a community with each other, share their feedback from different communities, since they are all working with the same thing, and it enables them to understand challenges from different communities, but also try and solve them together as a group. But we also encourage and support them to further their lives. A lot are going through education. Some are not in the education, especially those who are not SEGA graduates, are no longer in the education system. So we encourage them to continue to do something else tangible for their life, as they are also role models for the younger girls they mentor in the community. Next. The program curriculum is mainly based into the three areas you see above. We have the health education and sensitization, which include the mentors and mentees sit and discuss more about important women health issues like HIV and AIDS, menstrual hygiene, menstrual care, but also sexual reproductive health and rights, breast and cervical cancer, and any other health issues that young girls need to be aware. But also, since we have young mothers who are in the program, they also need to be aware of. So that is covering the health aspect. But we also have life skills education, which focuses on building young, confident, and independent young women. But also in the life skills education, we also have things like human rights. We have things like decision making and leadership skills for them to enable to boost their confidence as they are growing up. But also we have financial education and entrepreneurship, which include things like why and how we can save, starting and operating small businesses, budgeting, productions of everyday things such as liquid soap, baking, and things like that. That all enables the girl to know by the time she's finished with the program, maybe there's something she can start for themselves and able to supplement their lives. Next, please. Okay, so here you see another picture for this is some of the productions that they usually do. Here the girls are doing tie and dye. On the other side, the girls are doing showing how to make like Vaseline jelly that they can use like body oil in because some of the girls are not able to buy body oil for themselves most of the time. So if they can make or if they make here and they usually take it at home, they are able to use it at home with their family. Next. Okay. Additional activities that the MK mentors and girls usually participate in include advocating against gender-based violence and sexual battery through the 1 billion rising events that usually happen every February, but also other community events that with the local government authorities, such as sometimes we participate with International Women's Day. They usually do a big event. Sometimes they go do a march with the local community authorities, but also during the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, which are going to start in November 16 up to December 10th. They usually participate and take part on that in the community and raise awareness against them. Next. Okay, another part of the program is the Empowered Girls Network Forum, or the where we meet our former graduates and from when they are 6 months to more after graduating. So we meet them and create a network among the graduates and see their progress, but also introduce them to each other and see how they're doing, what they're doing now, if they're still in school, if they finished while they were in the program, they were in primary school, what are they doing now? Did they go to secondary school or something else? So we do those. And this program particularly started in 2020, and it has helped us reunite with some of our graduates, and we try and meet mostly all of our graduates within the same cohort in a year. So we try, since now we have 6 different districts, so we try in each district, we meet with the graduates, former graduates each year. Next, please. Okay, some of the program success since we've started the program. Right now, we've been able to, the program has reached over 8,000 girls since the program's inception in 2016. But also, last year, we were able to provide solar lamps to 1,512 girls in 2023. Majority of them were in rural, remote communities where they don't have electricity, as you can see the picture there. And the girls were very, very happy to receive, and it helped them use the solar lamps at night when they were studying. And we hope to provide those more in the future. But we also have been able to expand the program from 1 to 6 districts. And also, as it was mentioned earlier this year, we did a big impact evaluation of our program where we found out that almost 46% of mentors, they're pursuing higher education after working in MK. So this one may include the SEGA graduates who are in between their process of going into further education, but also we have had some community girls who were not in education while they were mentees and mentors, but then after the program, they have continued into something else, especially vocational training. We've had a mentor who had went to do wiring, the other one had gone to finish their education, which has been a success to us. Next, please. Okay, but also another is 88% of the program graduates were able to save money, in which this has been up from 18% at the beginning. So by the end of the program, they reported 88% were able to actually start saving money. And they may use it to buy something for school, buy something at home, and things like that. But we also, 38% of the participants reports earning income from small business that they opened, which is risen up from 4% at the beginning. And then on the side, you can see a pictures, as I mentioned before, the girls usually graduate at the end. So this is one of the pictures from graduations of one of the centers. And this one was particular in Dodoma earlier this year, I think. Next. Okay, another big aspect of the program is for us trying to make sure the girls have a voice and they learn to use their voice. So the impact evaluation has reported 8% of the former participants to have become more confident and be able to use their voice in the communities, such as raising awareness, but also helping other girls in the community and helping for themselves fight for their rights, which is good because we know now the girls can actually lead themselves and participate in being there for other girls in their community. Next slide. Okay. Like any other things, there's always more work to be done. And we recognize that we have had good success with the program, but there's things that we would like to do more. And some of the challenges or some of these points comes from the recommendations from the impact evaluation. And one of the things is creating and continue better cooperation and collaboration with some of the parents and local communities. Because if we don't do that, it hinders the implementation of the program. We've had some communities where the parents were not very keen on letting their girls participate in the program, and we want to continue working with those so that all the parents are fully aware of the program, they understand the program better, so that they can allow their girls to come and participate in the program and get the benefits that the other girls have. But also sometimes we have limiting budget, and at times it presents constraints in when we want to implement more things and do other things with the program. And also looking ahead, for us, from our perspective, from the program perspective, we would like to support more girls post graduation in terms of maybe loans or tools or for them to further their education. We've seen do some small research in other programs where after graduation they maybe give them a tool instead of a loan to start a small business. A tool may be like a sewing machine, so they're able to start a business and work on that instead of giving them money because they might use the money on something else. So we want to expand more on that because we believe that if we give this to the girls, they will be able to continue with their lives better, but we also going to be able to leave something tangible with the girls after they graduate from the program. More community have asked for that and something that we are looking for. But also expand more as we continue expanding the program. We'll still love to reach more or maybe go into another area. Right now, the program is only on 3 regions. We hope that we can continue adding more regions in the future so we can reach more girls. But also another thing we would love to do more is probably finance reusable sanitary towers for the community. Most of the communities we work with are still challenged, especially the rural one and the remote ones. And we want to help them. If we make a reusable sanitary towels for them, it will last a girl for almost 2 years. So if we can help that, then we know that this girl will be able to attend school throughout the 2 years without any challenges. but also for the girls who have graduated from the program, this could also be a small business for them. If we teach them how to do that, it will be a better small business for them, so they can continue making them and selling them to other girls in the community. So it's going to be like helping two things at the same time. Next slide. Okay, so I think that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening, but also welcome for questions.
I have a question.
Yes.
You might have said it and I missed it.
Yes.
What's the length of time that a girl stays in the program usually? A year, 6 months, or
For a year.
1 year?
Yes, 1 year, 12 months.
I don't know if people heard, could you repeat the question?
Oh, okay. So we had a question here from Marion on the length of the time that the girl is usually in the program, and I just mentioned that it's 12 months. From when they join the program up to when the program ends and they graduate, they're in the program for 12 months.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any
You
questions?
can unmute Tracy.
Yeah, I was wondering, do any of these students ever express interest or actually go to SEGA?
Yes, we have had some who have expressed interest to come to SEGA, but majority, when the program is usually going to where selection has already been done, that has been the model for a while. We've had a few who have tried, especially those in Morogoro town. They have tried to do the SEGA entry exam. Yes, so but we haven't had one from Morogoro town. But also last year, Madam Laura participated in a selection that was done in Dodoma, in an area where we've had the program, and then we were going to do a program again. So they participated on that, and we took 2 girls from that village who are now at SEGA.
Good.
Yes.
That's great.
I have a question. It's Portia. When you said there's 137 centers, but 30 are active, does that mean because some of the centers had girls that graduated and then there are not new girls to be at those centers?
Okay, yeah. So 137 in a sense that as we go into a community and after a year we graduate and we move to a different community. So we have been to 137 communities up to now, but over 107 how we have graduated the program already and moved into different community. Yes, they have been interest in us going back into those communities. There have been a few communities where we've had the program twice, like in 2 different years, because the communities member asked for the program, like Cheesy Chili. We've had the program there twice, and there's also one community in Dakawa. We've had the program there twice, and also as another secondary school in Morogoro town. We did the first one and then they asked for us to stay for another year. We stayed, but usually after a year after graduation, we moved to a different community. That's what it means. Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I have another question. Okay,
Yes.
so I'm curious, it sounds like when you were saying that some of the girls who graduate from this program go on to some VOTEC programs. So it sounds like you're able to refer them and educate them on other services that they could benefit from. A little bit of career development referral. So at the very end of the workshop, do you have like an open time where you go in, or maybe the girls, the SEGA graduate mentors are educated to answer questions to the girls who might be interested in, furthering their education, or maybe trying to get a loan or something?
Okay, and so that was specifically for mentors. Some mentors have gone into further education, but we usually speak with the girls. The field officer usually speaks with the community mentees, but also we encourage the mentors as a whole, because especially for those who are outside the education format, like the formal education aspects for maybe primary school or for if they're outside of that and they're just at home and they are able to go do something else, they try and look for opportunities for them and encourage them to apply for those so that they are able to further their lives that way rather than just staying idle, because being idle is not, it's not very good, yeah, especially for a young girl growing up.
That's good to hear, because I bet a lot of the girls just don't know what services are out there that could help them to take another step further.
Yeah, sometimes they don't,
Okay.
and then we try and help them or try and find opportunities to ask them to do that because so that they are able to go somewhere.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah, Tina, could you tell us if there were any surprising things that you learned over the course of the years compared to when you first started and what you thought it was going to be? Like anything that was different and how you adapted the program?
Well, I don't think it's so, but one of the things I'll say is each community is different, and being able to work in different communities, you try and adapt. We've had like I think it was 2 years ago, in this community in Iringa, we've had where a religious leader was very confusing, and sometimes he would mention different things about the program, like this program is bad, and then the parents will be scared because he's a religious leader, and then they will tell their girls not to come, so you have to work with them. And then we did a lot of community meetings with the local leaders to get him back to go back to the parents and tell them, oh no, it's not like that, you can allow your girls to come back. But also another community, it was just sometimes misinformation or lack of proper information from the local leaders down to the parents, even though we do try to do community meetings in between or when the community leaders do have their meetings and they invite us to do meetings. So misinformation also sometimes creates a lot of issues, but each community is different. Some communities are very fast. Some communities take it a longer time to adapt to the program. Some communities adapt to the program really easily. But also, like last year, again, the other cycle in Mbuha, there was this community was up in the mountains. Some of the centers you have to cross like a river to get to,
Wow.
but then the schools there had no teachers. You find one school that had like only 3 teachers, standard 1 to standard 7, and you find a girl who is in standard 4, standard 5, they don't even know how to write their name. So the field officer how to tell the mentors, okay, now we cannot teach the usual way, we need to find another way to teaching. And then they had to start to teach the girls how to write and how to read for a few months. So the program there ended up taking over 16 months instead of the usual 12 months, because they had to teach the girls how to read and write first before they can start the program and just do other adaptations. So sometimes it's different. There's always something challenging with the community, especially with new communities, and especially in remote areas.
Those are amazing examples. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
There's also the example of in Iringa during the agricultural time, the kids can't go on weekends.
Okay, okay. Madam Laura is also asking me to share. In Iringa also, another challenge is during agriculture time, because most of these areas rely on farming as the key means to bring food for their families. So during the time to farm or during the time to harvest, you will find girls not be able to attend the sessions because they go to these big farms to harvest, and then if they harvest for a day from morning to evening, they will get like 10,000 shillings. So that will supplement them to go to school the next day or to buy something they want. So they will tell you, like, I can only come to one day instead of Saturday and Sunday. Maybe I'll just be there on Saturday. On Sunday, I'm going to go harvest or to go farm so I can get money. And sometimes you have to work with their schedule because they need also the money where they're going. So if they go, you allow them during the season of farming, they will go farming. During the season of harvest, they will go harvest. And sometimes it's not even for the money, but it's for their life. So when their parents telling them, you are coming with me to the farm, you are coming with me to the farm, and then you'll be there the next day. So there are things like that. And sometimes you just have to adapt with what the community is willing to offer. Yes.
Wow.
Matt had a question in the chat that says, are there any ways the Nurturing Minds community can further support the impactful work of the Modern Girl program?
Oh, yes, there is. Like I've mentioned, we would definitely love to expand the deeper in our program, expand what we can give the girls, especially the young mothers, as they graduate. It's because those are, for me, I see them as the most challenging community. The other ones are still going to the school, but those who are young mothers, they already have 2, 3 children. If we can leave them with a loan or maybe an equipment to help them start whatever they want to do, that will be excellent. But also, if we are able to still want to expand to 3 to 5 regions, you know, each year, that will also require more money because it will need more mentors, more stipends, another field officer. So those are all the things we want to consider, and we think we can grow the program that way too and be able to reach more girls. But also the big issue that I would definitely love for us to do is finding a way to finance the reusable sanitary towel project. Yeah, reusable sanitary towel project.
Wow.
Sanitary pads,
Sanitary pads, yeah.
reusable.
Reusable. The ones that can last for 2 years. Yes, yeah.
wow.
Because some girls still can't go to school fully because when they are in their period. So if we are able to provide, if we are able to provide them with sanitary towels. Oh, but more importantly, if you're able to teach them, we have received some
Sewing machines.
yeah, some sewing machine and some samples that we have in at SEGA right now. But I'm going to find some materials when I go back. I'm going to find some materials, so quality materials to use. But it's going to take a lot of capital to make pads that will reach 2,000 girls. And if we can at least give each one, that we know it will sustain them for at least the next 18 months.
Wow.
But also, if we are able to continue providing like a small business out of that, especially for the graduates of the program, to continue making those and selling them to other girls in the village so they can continue earning money out of that, it will also be important and serve to purpose at the same time.
Wow, that's great.
And then there's another question in the chat from Carmen that says regarding volunteers, if volunteers are trained, do volunteers stay for a significant length of time or do they depart early?
The mentors? Yeah, the mentors are trained before they start the program before they start as mentors. We usually train them, but also every week they usually met with the field officers every Friday because during the program it requires them to be available for 4 days. So they have a Friday where they meet with their field officer and get trained on what to teach on Saturday and Sunday. And then they usually meet again on Monday for a feedback mechanism, see what went well, where is the challenge, what is something that needs immediate action for the field officer to be in touch with it directly. So those 4 days is when the mentors are trained. But also we usually have the big training, as I've talked about. We usually have a big training once a year, a big capacity training once a year with all the mentors where they meet and get together. And then for us right now, our requirement for a girl to become a volunteering mentor is for them to be available for at least 5 months, because it gives the girls in the community time to adapt to them, time to bond, but also it gives her time to at least see the results of what she's doing. So she needs to be available for at least 5 months to serve as a mentor, and then she can continue with her studies. But also for those who are able to remain, like the community girls who are working as mentors, some of them we've been with them for a longer time, 4, 5 years, some. So they are able to continue serving with us for a longer time.
And they receive.
Yes.
And
Yes, and all the mentors receive a stipend each week, which is 50,000 shillings each week. And but also on top of the stipend, they do receive transport money to enable them to go to the centers and then come back over the weekend. Yes.
So Clementina, so the girls that one example of the student or the graduate staying 5 years, does that mean that she didn't continue her education? She just wanted to stay as a mentor?
Yeah.
from the community.
From the community, for the mentors who are community members, sometimes they usually they don't have anything else to do.
Yeah, okay.
Versus they're not SEGA graduates.
Yes,
those ones.
yes.
Oh,
Yes,
oh, I
yeah.
thought all the mentors were SEGA grads, but that's not the case.
No, right now we have half and half, because it still gives us connection with the community. You know, like we have graduates, SEGA graduates who have finished Form 4 at SEGA as mentors, and we also have community graduates, the girls who have been through the program and
Okay.
they've graduated. Yeah,
I see.
also serve as mentors, yes.
That's great.
Anything else? Yeah. Any other question? Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, no other questions?
No, I just wanted to comment that it's really admirable that when they went to the one remote area up in the mountains, they had to just say, okay, we're going to start from where the girls need us. It wasn't just say, well, we can't help you, we got to move on. I mean,
Yeah.
that's great. And
That is amazing. I've never heard that story before. I had no idea that they were teaching reading and writing in some communities,
Right.
which is, yeah, it is pretty incredible. Okay, well, thank you all so much. Thank you, Clementina. Thank you, Marianne, for hosting us. And thank you all for coming. Yeah, and thank you all for your support. So, and happy United Nations Day. And I'm sure we'll see you all soon. Yeah.
Thank you.